Welcome to Stoic Mindset Wisdom, the channel where we explore the hidden truths of human behavior, relationships, and self-mastery. Today's focus might seem biological at first glance, but it's far deeper. We're talking about a woman's vagina, not as a simple reproductive organ, but as a complex, dynamic, and psychologically linked system, capable of incredible adaptation both physically and emotionally. Most men think size or depth is the ultimate factor in sexual satisfaction. That's a misconception. The reality is far more intricate and understanding. It can transform intimacy, emotional connection, and even your confidence in relationships. By the end of this video, you'll understand how vaginal depth physically changes during arousal and why it's so adaptive, how psychological factors, trust, connection, emotional safety dictate sexual experience, why satisfaction isn't about size, but about emotional attunement and mutual rhythm, how sensitivity, layers within the vagina, redefine what pleasure actually means. And if you think you already know all this, prepare to be surprised. Hook, compelling opening. What if everything you thought you knew about a woman's body was only half the story? What if I told you that there's a depth, both physical and psychological, that most men completely misunderstand? It's been right under their noses the entire time. Today, we're diving into the untold truths about female anatomy, human behavior, and intimacy. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see things in a way few men ever do. But there's a twist. This isn't just biology. This is psychology. This is emotional intelligence. This is the secret to deeper connection, if you're ready to understand it. Section 1. Vaginal depth. The physical reality. Most people believe the vagina is a fixed, unchanging tunnel. Sion Sand lived experience tells a very different story. Resting state. In a non-aroused state, the vagina averages around 3 to 4 inches, 7.5 to 10 centimeters in depth. Many men imagine this as a limit, but it's only the starting point. Arousal state. When a woman becomes sexually aroused, the vagina can elongate to 6 to 7 inches, 15 to 17.5 centimeters. This is called vaginal tenting, a natural adaptation to accommodate penetration. It's a biological marvel, a system that actively prepares the body for intimacy or even childbirth. Think of it like a flower that blooms only when the conditions are right. It's not passive. It's responsive, intelligent, and highly adaptive. Human behavior insight. Men often obsess over size, but the body's adaptability renders that concern largely irrelevant. This is where psychology and biology intersect. Male performance anxiety can actually hinder intimacy, whereas emotional attunement promotes physical responsiveness. Section 2. Psychological depth. The hidden layer here is where most men completely miss the mark. Vaginal depth isn't just physical. The mind-body connection plays a pivotal role. Women's arousal is often triggered by emotional and mental factors: trust, safety, intimacy, and emotional connection. Unlike men, whose arousal can be immediate and purely physical, women's sexual readiness often precedes physical responsiveness. Example scenario: a man may be ready for intimacy, but if a woman feels distracted, unsafe, or disconnected, her body may not fully respond, no matter the physical stimulation. Psychological takeaway. This is why intimacy is more than physical technique. It's emotional intelligence. Men who understand this subtlety can dramatically enhance connection, pleasure, and trust. Section 3. Size versus fit. What really matters? One of the most persistent myths. Bigger is better. Studies and real-life accounts show something very different. The vagina expands and contracts, molding around the partner. Women report the most satisfying experiences when their partner is attuned to rhythm, pace, and emotional comfort, not just depth. True sexual mastery involves reading cues, adjusting, and responding to emotional and physical signals. SEO keywords: female anatomy, sexual satisfaction, intimacy psychology, vaginal adaptation. Relationship tips for men. Section 4. Layers of sensitivity. The science of pleasure contrary to popular belief. The deepest part of the vagina is less sensitive than the outer third. High sensitivity areas: clitoris, G-spot, vaginal lips, focused. Stimulation near these areas often results in more pleasure than deep penetration alone. Pleasure is not linear. It's multidimensional, combining physical stimulation with emotional engagement, behavioral insight. Men who understand these sensitivity layers create a more fulfilling sexual experience. It's not about brute force, it's about attention, presence, and emotional awareness. Section 5. The bigger picture. Emotional, psychological, and biological complexity. A woman's vagina is not a simple organ. It's biologically adaptable, changing depth, elasticity, and response based on readiness. Emotionally linked, arousal is deeply tied to trust and connection. Psychologically complex, mental engagement often dictates physical responsiveness. Understanding this is key to deeper intimacy. Men who respect and attune to these dimensions gain not only better sexual experiences, but stronger emotional bonds. Cliffhanger teaser for next video, but here's where things get even more intriguing. Recent studies suggest that a woman's sexual response is influenced not just by individual connection, but by subtle environmental and psychological triggers that most men never notice. In the next video, we'll uncover hidden cues that can dramatically increase intimacy, and why most men completely overlook them, setting the stage for unrealized connection and pleasure. The next revelation might just change the way you approach every relationship from this moment forward. And no, it's not about what you think. Are you ready to see the truth behind emotional and physical connection? Stay tuned. Section 6. Understanding arousal. More than physical readiness, most men assume sexual readiness is purely physical and erection or lubrication is enough. But the truth is far more nuanced. Arousal is a multi-layered experience: psychological, emotional, and biological. The brain as the primary sexual organ. Studies show that women's brains light up differently during sexual arousal compared to men. Emotional connection, trust, and anticipation play a far greater role than just touch. The role of the limbic system. This part of the brain processes emotions and governs sexual response. When a woman feels safe, respected, and connected, the body responds by elongating and expanding the vagina, increasing natural lubrication, heightening sensitivity. Example scenario. Imagine a man focusing only on physical penetration. If the woman feels anxious, disconnected, or rushed, her body may not respond fully despite stimulation. Conversely, when emotional cues are met, eye contact, verbal affirmation, touch that signals safety, her body adapts naturally. Behavioral insight. Men who understand the mind-body connection can create full-spectrum arousal, making intimacy more satisfying for both partners. Section 7. Trust and vulnerability. The hidden depths. Emotional depth is just as important as physical depth. A woman's sexual responsiveness often mirrors her sense of trust and vulnerability with her partner. Trust as a gateway. Women open up emotionally before opening up physically. This explains why women may not respond even with strong physical stimulation if they feel unsafe or emotionally disconnected. The power of vulnerability, emotional honesty, gentle touch, and attentive listening are signals that foster trust. Men who cultivate these behaviors are perceived as more attractive, attentive, and in tune with their partner's needs. SEO keywords: female psychology, emotional intimacy, trust and relationships, human behavior insights, sexual responsiveness. Section 8. Anatomy and pleasure. Beyond myths, let's dive deeper into the anatomy of female pleasure. Most men focus on penetration depth, but science tells a different story. Clitoris, the pleasure center, with over 8,000 nerve endings. The clitoris is the primary source of sexual pleasure, not the vaginal canal itself. Gaia spot, the hidden trigger, located on the front wall of the vagina. This area provides intense stimulation for some women, but only if approached with attentiveness and precision. Vaginal canal, adaptive fit. The vagina is elastic and responds to rhythm, pressure, and emotional context rather than sheer size. Behavioral. Insight. Men who pay attention to subtle responses, like changes in breathing, muscle tension, and verbal cues, unlock a higher level of intimacy and satisfaction. Section 9. Common misconceptions and why they persist. Many myths about female anatomy persist due to cultural conditioning, pornography, and lack of education. Myth 1. Depth equals satisfaction, as discussed. Vaginal depth changes dynamically and is less relevant than emotional attunement and rhythm. Myth 2. Bigger is better. Pleasure is about fit, emotional connection, and stimulation of sensitive areas, not size. Myth 3. Women are passive. Women are active participants, emotionally and physically, in sexual experiences. Their responses adapt based on comfort, trust, and desire. Storytelling angle. Think about a couple where the man focuses solely on performance. Despite his efforts, intimacy feels disconnected. The woman may not respond fully. But when he shifts focus to connection, responsiveness, and emotional attunement, the same experience transforms into profound intimacy. Section 10. The emotional. The rhythm of sexual experience. Sex is more than mechanics, it's emotional synchronization. Understanding the rhythm of intimacy involves communication, verbal and nonverbal. Cues guide physical and emotional responses. Pacing. Rushing leads to discomfort, while matching pace builds anticipation and arousal.